You were not meant to be the dragon warrior. That was not my fault.
He told him he was destined for greatness.
Your fault? Who filled my head with dreams? Who drove me to train until my bones crashed? Who denied me my destiny?
The Serapi chose you, just like mother, just like my own father. I saved, and you betrayed me.
What have you done? I'm your brother. Fight with me.
You stole my destiny. Now this is yours.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but the world doesn't care about your potential. It cares about your actions. You're not entitled to greatness, but you can definitely work for it. I know a lot of people didn't like the new Lion King, and I mean rightfully so because it definitely has its flaws.
Kiara's a music snob.
But it did leave me questioning how entitlement can ruin your destiny. I had this one question I kept thinking about. Are characters like Scar and Tai Lung basically destined to be second? Let me explain. In the movie, we find out Scar's real name is Taka, which in Swahili means garbage. On the other hand, Mufasa's name means to rule or to govern. So it can be inferred that Scar's main destiny was to end up as garbage.
I'm not a Kabedi. I'm a Mufasa.
Do you even know what Mufasa means?
No.
It means king, and that's me.
Even Tai Lung's name is misleading because his name translates to Great Dragon. This is where entitlement comes in from a small standpoint. As we know, names definitely don't define you. But have you ever met someone who's named after a person from the Bible or just a noble character, only to find out that they're the complete opposite? But we can see how a name can hold some type of pressure. I think most times when reflecting on our life choices and upbringings, we often blame our parents because initially it's kind of up to them to instill the right characteristics in us. The saddest thing about these characters is that you can actually sympathize with them. Shifu found Tai Lung as a baby and named him the Great Dragon. He quite literally trained him from a very young age and also filled his head with the thought that once he grew up, he would become the Great Dragon Warrior. Scar's situation is a little different because he actually comes from royalty, so on paper, he's destined through the bloodline. One thing I noticed is how similar Scar and Simba were as kids from the original Lion King. The internet is absolutely loving the I Always Wanted a Brother song, and you know what? I am too. But paying attention, the song between Scar and Mufasa sounds eerie similar to Simba's I Just Can't Wait to Be King. Both songs express a strong ambition to rule, but the motivations differ.
I'm gonna be your mighty king, so enemies beware. When I am king, no other animal will break my stride.
They both have a very bad idea of what leadership actually is.
I'm brushing up, I'm looking down, I'm working on my brother. When I'm king, they will do as they're told.
Both characters dismiss the current order and resist being controlled.
No one's saying do this.
Now when I said that,
No one's saying be there. No one's saying stop that.
Simba sees leadership as a path to total freedom, rejecting guidelines and rules, while Taka and Mufasa argue about loyalty.
When I'm king, you'll always take my side. Yeah, right. That's right.
But as we know, Mufasa corrected Simba at a very early age to let him know this is not what it means to be king.
There, Simba.
But I thought a king can do whatever he wants.
Oh, there's more to being king than getting your way all the time.
There's more?
So yes, upbringing has a big effect on your destiny. Who's to say if Shifu would have taught Tai Lung restraint and patience, he could have been the Dragon Warrior. Even then, that's not a guarantee. Time out. Let me be real for a second. Not everyone who works hard wins. You can give something your all and still someone else might take the spotlight. That is life. But does that mean that effort was wasted? Absolutely not. Tigress versus Po in Kung Fu Panda. I use Tigress as an example. She was also raised by Shifu and was taught many of the same things Tai Lung wasn't. Yet, despite being the most fitting candidate on paper, she still wasn't chosen as the Dragon Warrior. She was confused by this, yet that loss didn't stop her from being great and also becoming one of the best members of the Furious Five. I think the biggest takeaway is greatness isn't about being chosen, it's about how you respond to failure. Personally, running this channel has taught me a lot about failure. I love to upload weekly for you all, but between constant copyright strikes, and I mean constant copyright strikes. Did I say constant? My creativity and even my ability to post gets limited. And even if I do get a video up, there's no guarantee that it'll succeed. I spent hours fixing, re-editing, and tweaking videos, only for them to flop. But that's the reality of creating anything. Not every attempt will be a hit. The point is, one bad video, one bad day, or even a string of failures doesn't mean you stop. Greatness isn't about never failing, it's about pushing forward, learning and refusing to let setbacks define you. And blaming other people can only get you so far. Shifu apologizes to Tai Lung, and for a moment it looks like he considers it.
I loved you too much to see what you were becoming. What I was turning you into. I'm sorry.
But instead, he holds on to that entitlement, as Taka blames others too by stating this:
Because of Mufasa, I have no father.
And that statement was far from the truth. Scar's dad was a bad king who never prepared and lost his life to challengers who were ready. Have you ever stopped to wonder if the role you're desperately chasing after is even the right one for you in the long run? I thought about this a lot, especially relating to Scar. Would he have been satisfied as Mufasa's right-hand man, or an advisor like Rafiki? Maybe. But the truth is, not everyone is meant to be king, and that's okay. Sometimes the greatest impact comes from playing a different role. In Kung Fu Panda, the Dragon Scroll, a sacred document believed to hold the secret to unlimited power, is revealed to be blank, a golden mirror. It reflects the person who opens it, symbolizing true power comes from within, not from external validation or status. This ties into a larger idea. Maybe greatness isn't what you thought it was. Society often defines success in terms of power, money, and recognition. But that's not the only path. There's a saying, some people are so poor all they have is money. Maybe success for you isn't wealth or fame, it could be building a family, leaving a legacy, or simply mastering your craft. And just like not everyone can be a hero, not everyone needs to be. For every Luke Skywalker, there's a Yoda. For every Michael Jordan, there's a Phil Jackson. Some lead by example, others shape for the next generation. One isn't greater than the other, they're just different forms of greatness. Another key difference between Scar and Mufasa lies in their past. As a child, Scar once saved Mufasa from a crocodile.
Help me!
I think this moment was good foreshadowing, because Scar didn't save Mufasa. His mother did by roaring to scare the crocodiles away. It highlights how Scar always lacked the strength to lead, and was an opportunist at best. Notice the claw grab, being how he saves Mufasa, but it's also the same way he ends up killing him.
Can't just leave him here.
Rules are rules, Taka. Obasi will never accept a stray.
I'm not stray. I'm just lost.
In order for Mufasa to stand in pride, he must be Scar/Taka in a race. This is followed by Scar's father deciding to trip Mufasa, just to give Scar any type of head start he can, and his mother immediately gives him backlash.
You did not have to do that.
Taka is the future king. He has to win his first challenge.
No, Obasi. To be a true king, he must earn it.
At its core, this is a story about entitlement and opportunity. Maybe you're someone who's been overlooked, watching others buy their way into spaces you worked hard to earn. Or maybe you've been fortunate enough to have parents who put you in positions to succeed. Everyone's circumstances are different, and it's not always fair. But the real question is, are you going to be someone who believes that the world owes you something because of what you didn't have, or are you going to fight for what you want despite the odds? Scar lets Mufasa win, hence saving his life twice at this point. But then he was scolded by his father.
Caesar!
Obasi!
You will keep him with the females.
Taka, how
Could you lose to a stray?
Well done, Taka.
Indeed, he never lets Mufasa forget. While Mufasa is genuinely grateful, Scar constantly uses this against him.
Not that I'm counting, but I saved your hide. Again! As much as it kills you to say it, let's hear a little thank you.
Believing his brother owes him unwavering loyalty. It's like Scar saves Mufasa not out of genuinely brotherly love, but so he can hold it over him in a debt to be repaid. Scar's second mistake was thinking that someone belongs to you, as he was jealous over Sarabi and Mufasa's relationship, which caused him to turn on Mufasa.
Saved your life. This is how you repay me.
And lastly, thinking he can be king without putting in the necessary work. Mufasa was instilled with wisdom and responsibility through the woman and the pride.
You're wasting your time training me like this.
But these skills you have, no other male has them.
Obasi will never accept me.
Scar was never taught the true meaning of kingship. Instead, his father emphasized hiding mistakes to maintain power.
I never know you ran, but you ran from your mother. It never happened, Taka. Do you understand?
But I didn't know. I was just scared.
His father's lessons is what ultimately got him killed and made it way easier for Scar to betray Mufasa. Scar can't be king because he isn't brave. He wanted Sarabi, but when the opportunity came, he ran. And guess who took that opportunity? Mufasa. Mufasa was still loyal to Scar. So loyal, in fact, that he was willing to lie to Sarabi, saying that Scar was the one that actually saved her. And the only reason the truth was revealed is because Sarabi finally realized that it was always Mufasa.
You saved me, held me, covered me in the stampede, comforted me.
No, it was Taka.
I got you.
I was lost in the water and he found me. My brother saved me.
I sensed it from the beginning.
His blood is the blood of the king. That is his destiny.
No, his destiny was to save you. Now tell me it's you.
Going back to the main question itself, if characters like Scar and Tai Lung were destined to be second, it makes me wonder, were Poe and Mufasa truly destined for greatness, or was it the result of their hard work and determination? Poe, on the other hand, was never told he was special. He was just a noodle shop worker who loved Kung Fu. When he was chosen as the Dragon Warrior, he didn't feel entitled because he felt unworthy. Instead of demanding his destiny, he had to grow into it. Tai Lung saw failure as an injustice. He believed that being denied what he so-called deserved meant that the system was broken. Instead of learning from it, he let his anger consume him. Poe failed constantly, but he never let that break him. He adapted, found joy in learning, and kept pushing forward even when others doubted him. I know you remember when the Furious Five were talking stuff about him.
Would think that Master Oogway would choose someone who actually knew Kung Fu.
Yeah, or could at least touch his toes.
Or even see his toes.
I mean, you don't belong in the Jade Palace. You're a disgrace to Kung Fu, and if you have any respect for who we are and what we do, you will be gone by morning.
Poe learned that greatness comes from who you are, not just what you can do. He became the Dragon Warrior because of his skills, because of his heart, perseverance, and his ability to grow. Mufasa, on the other hand, didn't even want to become king, but he was made king because he was seen as the best fit for the role, despite even being a stray or not even coming from a royal bloodline. At the end of the day, not everyone gets to be the chosen one. Not everyone gets the Dragon Scroll, the throne, or the spotlight. And yeah, that can feel unfair. But the truth is, greatness isn't about being chosen, it's about what you do when you're not. So maybe you won't be the next Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, hell, but you do have the chance to define greatness for whatever that is to you. And that, my friend, will always be more powerful than anything written in a prophecy or sealed in a golden scroll. I want to thank you for watching Media Munchies, and peace.